want you to do at home. So I've got two different dimensions. The north-south is joy versus despair. And in the middle, in this blue shaded region, is some proper detached mindset that is neither joyful nor full of despair, but is located in a proper attuned state of mind. And then there's a time series from the past to the present and the future. And so if I want to be mindful in the moment, I want to have my attention on what's happening now, aware of what could happen in the future, so I frame it a little bit, and aware of what happened in the past so I can shape expectations and understand the difference between normal and abnormal. But somewhere in that blue shaded region is a proper mindset that has balanced the emotional and the time states of mind into an effective area for trading. Now, for me, the yellow dot is where I want to be when I'm in my best mode. I am on the side of joyful anticipation of the future, but mindful of the past and of the possibilities of fear. But I'm not at a perfectly zero state of no emotion and only looking at the present, which is region 5. So maybe for me, the regions 10, 11, 12, and 13 are close enough to the proper zero state that I can still be effective. But the ideal state for me, and I'm just speaking for myself, is that yellow dot between 5, 12, and 13, which, by the way, is a perfect triangle for computing the squares. And then I would ask you to think about what is it like to be you at various times. Have you ever experienced that extreme moment of greed in the purple, where you are looking far into the future and spending money you haven't earned yet, and you're in excess joy and too far in the future, and your greed pulls you out of the mind state of proper mindful present trading? Have you ever experienced fear of the future that immobilized you because of past memories? And so the worry about the future has immobilized you and you're locked into despair. That's the red dot. You ever been there? You ever been in the yellow dot of pain where all you can remember is how horrible it was to have experienced that moment and it paralyzes you to take action now? Have you ever been in that ideal state trying to remember the perfect past and idealized it, and so you have excess joy and you're remembering that and you only live, you think about that so you can avoid the pain of the present or the past, and that clouds your judgment? All of those four different temporal and emotional states pull you out of what is something like an idealized mindful present state. So figure out where you are. What's it like to, I want you to experience the mind theater, which says, let me imagine what it was like to be in states 1 through 13. Tie that to moments in your life and what it was like, and maybe what those other emotional temporal pulls are. And then come back to those moments when you were trading at your best. What was your mind state in based on this little grid? And how can you reliably get there? And how do you notice when you are there? And how do you notice when you're drifting away? What are those physiological and mental keys that alert you that you're moving away from your proper place so you can do something about it and get your mind right, so that in this equation of time, will, pattern, and money, you can easily figure out, is there time left for the move to happen and it's still available? Do I have capital that's available to trade? Do I have a pattern that works according to that previous body of knowledge? The one that changes the most and which is the most vulnerable and must be attended to, the psychological element of will. Am I in the proper state so that I will trade with good will and proper will? Will I do that? There's something important about that multi-purpose word. Time, will, pattern, and money. All four of those things must be present for me to trade. And when I am in my perfect state, I'm in that yellow dot. I'm approximately in that yellow dot. As long as I'm in the blue, I'm okay. But the more in the yellow I am, the best, that's my best state. So it's not right at 5, but it's leaning forward like a hunter, stalking, mindful. I'm stalking tigers, so I better be careful. And I know how to get out of it. That's the mind state. Try that at home. Pause.